parents more time to relocate their children from the closed schools to the approved private and public schools of their choice. It is also aimed at enabling the state government the opportunity of rehabilitating some of the dilapidated school buildings and classrooms to create a conducive environment that will enhance qualitative education in the Abia school system. Speaking on the bold steps taken by the state government to close unapproved private schools, respondents described it as a welcome development, but ill-timed, as most parents may not be able to meet up with the financial involvement in relocating their children to new schools within the short period.
The decision of the government to sanitize that level of education is a welcome development, and I encourage the government to go on and do it. It doesn't matter whose us is God, because if we are being sentimental, to start thinking about the people that will be affected, we will not do anything. We will not achieve what we want to achieve, which is to sanitize the educational sector.
Parents cannot be wasting their money spending on their children to get better education. At the end of it, they will not get it. So any school that is not up to standard should wait. When they upgrade themselves, they will not invite people to come and patronize them.
If parents should have the wherewithal to take this award to a better school, I know they wouldn't have patronized the substandard one. And if the public schools were to be what it's supposed to be, most parents will have their awards in public schools.
Others stress the importance for the state government, the Ministry of Education, and other stakeholders to provide adequate instructional materials and conducive environment that will enhance teaching and learning in public schools. They also called on the state government to take the welfare of teachers as a duty, as this will enable them to cover their scheme of work on time.
It's a decision in the right direction. Let the government go ahead to sanitize the education. That is the only way we can start, building a country or a state that will be proud of.
The public schools, if they are standard, if they are conducive for learning, teaching and learning, no parent will want to take his or her children to a private school.
So I believe that setting standard for schools is okay. It's fine. But they should give them some time. They should support them and then follow things up. Eventually, they will come to the level they want them to.
Meanwhile, the Abia State Commissioner for Education, Dr. Kani Elechewangwa, has assured that primary and post-primary public schools in the state will resume fully on Monday, 20 January 2020.
Education is not an all-commerce affair. Education is a very serious business. We are talking about our tomorrow when we talk about education. But you see, getting to a point where everyone look at education as just one of the businesses you can start. So the moment there is any small space, people start school. Somebody there is a poultry farmer. Certain point will now divide the poultry into two. One side is school for birds, the other side is school for human beings. You discover that we are getting to a point where the quality, the standard, everything about education was getting affected. So it became very necessary to say, schools, if you want to run a school, the school should have a compound. And when you have a compound, because you have minimum standard for the establishment of nursery, primary and secondary school in place.
Chinyere, MCL News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has reviewed the federal government's plan to recruit more teachers to increase the teacher-pupil ratio at the primary school level. Buhari said this when he met with the leaders of the Nigerian Union of Teachers at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The NUT appealed to him to append his signature to the bill seeking a new retirement age for teachers. The bill, which was passed by the National Assembly, is before the presidency. The body is seeking to raise the retirement age of teachers from 60 years to 65. The body is also pushing for a new salary structure for teachers. The president of the NUT, Nasiru Idris, informed President Buhari that the age retirement bill will revolutionize and strengthen the teaching profession for the well-being of the nation's schools if signed into law by him. He said that it will also help to retain more trained teachers in the system and increase the teacher-to-pupil ratio. Buhari assured the union that his regime will work towards improving the teacher-to-pupil ratio through the Empower Teaching Volunteers scheme under the National Social Investment Program. The Empower Teach Volunteers are deployed as teaching assistants in primary schools across Nigeria to support the existing teachers. The aim is to increase the teacher-pupil ratio at the primary school level, thereby enhancing the quality of the pupils moving to secondary schools. Senator Hope Uzodinma of the All Progressives Congress (APC) has given permanent secretaries and heads of parastatals 4 days to submit a award of contract made so far in the state. He spoke this in Owerri after he was sworn in as the 6th governor of Imo State with his running mate Placid Njoko by the Chief Judge of Imo State, Pascal Nadi. The swearing-in ceremony was held at the Imo State Government House hours after Senator Uzodinma received his certificate of return from INEC in Abuja. Senator Uzodinma was on Tuesday declared the governor-elect after the Supreme Court nullified the election of Emeka Ihedioha and declared him the elected governor of the state. The swearing-in ceremony had in attendance the national chairman of the APC, Adams Oshomole, former governor of the state, Senator Rochas Okorocha, and governorship candidate of ABGA in the 2019 governorship election, Ifeanyi Ararume, among others. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) governorship candidate Emeka Ihedioha has said he has accepted his fate following Tuesday's Supreme Court judgment sacking him as governor of Imo State. He described the judgment as a rude shock and surprise, adding that it was also unfair, unjust, and did not reflect the voting that took place during the elections. He stated that the facts on ground, legal precedents and clear verdict of Imo people on March 9, 2019 that returned him as governor with the highest valid vote of 273,404 were not put into consideration by the apex court in the judgment. Ihedioha lamented that the mandate freely given to him as governor and engineer Gerard Irona as deputy governor had been cut short by the Supreme Court in contravention of the will of the people. Ihedioha, who said he had accepted his fate, added that he had put machinery in motion to hand over the reins of office to the APC candidate as the next governor of Imo State. Governor Ifeanyi of Enugu State has forwarded 4 names of nominees for the Enugu State Independent Electoral Commission (NCEC) to the House of Assembly for screening. This is contained in a letter sent to the House by the governor, which was read by the Speaker, Edward Ubosi, at the plenary in Enugu. Those nominated are Solomon Ude, Dr. Babadin Ezugu, Mrs. Theresa Ebo, and Mrs. Antonia Ubu. Speaker Edward Ubosi directed the nominees to submit 25 copies of their curriculum vitae to the clerk of the House, Emmanuel Udaya, to enable lawmakers carry out their screening. Ubosi, while welcoming his colleagues back from Christmas and New Year holiday, thanked them for their contributions and support in 2019. He also solicited for more support in 2020, noting that the House would move with required legislative speed in discharge of its duties. Meanwhile, Senator Ayo Beze has lauded Governor Ubani for his rural developmental projects in various communities in the state. Ayo, former senator who represented Enugu North Senatorial District, gave the commendation at Ulo Oleiba community in Wales North local government area during the commissioning of a water project sponsored by the state. He said Ugwani-led administration has continued to give every community in Enugu a sense of belonging in its distribution of socio-economic development projects. The police in Anambra State have killed alleged carjackers. The suspects were also linked with the abduction of an engineer with the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Awka last year. It was gathered that the duo engaged police personnel in a shootout for hours before they were eventually gunned down. The police public relations officer in the state, Haruna Mohammed, confirmed the incident. He said the deceased, Onebuchi Ngala and Izuchu Okoro, were shot dead during a gun battle with policemen near Nkwo Agolo in their Mocha local government area of the state. He stated that the deceased were members of the gang responsible for the abduction of one Emeka Chin Arana, an engineer with Unizik, last October. The House of Representatives has asked the federal government through the Ministry of Power to suspend the planned upward review of electricity tariff until the National Assembly lifts the embargo. The House Committee on Power, which met with the Ministry, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, and distribution companies in Abuja on Tuesday, asked that the policy scheduled for implementation from April 1, 2019 remained on hold until the Speaker, Femi Bajabiamila, concluded his talks with stakeholders. The Speaker had on Saturday, through his verified personnel Twitter handle, stated that the discourse are yet to convince Nigerians that estimated billing will be stopped if they increase the consumption tariff. He also said the National Assembly should ensure that the proposed new electricity tariffs are cost-reflective, while stating that the increment should not be allowed until estimated billing, popularly referred to as crazy bill, is criminalized. The Speaker also disclosed his resolve to meet with the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and other stakeholders in the power sector on the matter. The minority leader, Ndidi Olumebu, had earlier on Thursday condemned the plan, asking the NEC, which regulates the power sector, to stop all processes leading to the increment. The NEC had approved the increment in its December 2019 minor review of multi-year tariff order 2015 and minimum remittance order for the year 2020. The NEC on Saturday directed the 11 electricity distribution companies in the country to increase their tariffs beginning from April 1. The tax reforms contained in the Finance Act 2020 will enable the federal government to hit its 8.155 trillion naira non-oil revenue target. Minister of Finance and Budget Planning Zainab Ahmed said the money will be used in funding 2020 national budget. President Muhammadu Buhari signed the finance bill on Monday. In a statement on Tuesday, the minister explained that a large sum of money realized from taxation would rather go to the people. Zainab went further to say that states and the local government areas are to get 50% and 35%, while only 15% will go to the federal government. Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State has approved the appointment of his former senior special assistant on media and public affairs, Malam Abdullahi Danko, and 3 others as permanent secretaries in the state. Tambuwal's special advisor on media and publicity, Mohammed Bello, said this in a statement on Wednesday. Bello said others appointed as permanent secretaries include Hajiya Amina Jekada, Alhaji Shehu Bandi, and Hussaini Gobiro. He said 4 newly appointed officials were recommended for the appointment as a result of the existing vacancies within the parastatals. Before the appointment, Jakada was the Director General of the State's Parks and Gardens, while Bandi was the head of the Department of Fine Arts at the Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto. Also, Gabiru was a Director General, a director under the State Universal Basic Education Board. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has threatened to sanction its e-PIN outlet agents found involved in fraudulent practices. This came as it arrested 4 agents for allegedly selling e-PINs for the ongoing 2020 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination and direct entry registrations above the stipulated amount. The board, in a statement by its head of information, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, warned that any outlet caught selling the e-PINs higher than the prescribed amount will be sanctioned. JAMB said the arrested vendors have been suspended from further participation in the selling of e-PINs for the 2020 UTME. JAMB notes that the cost of the e-PINs is 3,500 and the reading test 500 naira. Still to come on the news. Boko Haram frees 5 kidnapped aid workers. Killing of Christians. Haruna takes case to Pope Trump. Russian government resigns. Heartland stuns Enyimba in Aba. Details after the break. Stay tuned.
Wow, the lab results.
Yes.
Okay. Where is this man? She has malaria.
Malaria?
Yes.
What do you think she did this for?
Prescribe Casimir tablets.
Casimir tablets?
Yes, Casimir tablets.
Casimir tablets get at later and limit from 3 for inside. Casimir tablets now Maxim Laboratories Private Limited for India. They make them, but na Grace Base Pharmacy and Store Limited. Now then they distribute Casimir tablets for here. Casimir tablets get NAFDAC approval for take fight malaria, comot your family.
Casimir tablets, na correct anti-malaria.
Casimir tablets, it dey stop every malaria.
Mommy, mosquito is biting me.
When I ask you to use Top Rank insecticide. Top Rank insecticide kills mosquitoes, cockroach, flies, and every other crawling and flying insects faster anywhere around you. NAFDAC approves Top Rank insecticide for its effectiveness. Use Top Rank insecticide and enjoy a peaceful night's rest. Available in all shops and supermarkets near you in 600ml can and 300ml can. Top Rank insecticide is marketed nationwide by C Success Multi Services Limited. Telephone 0813 111 2348 or 090 960 22577. Top Rank insecticide. What's worth doing is worth doing well.
Our esteemed viewer, thanks for your patronage of our programs and services, for which we say thank you. We remind you that at all times, you have the right to quality broadcasting. It belongs to you as well as the right to lodge complaints on broadcast materials or conduct of any broadcast station. MCLtv is open and receptive to your commendations, complaints and criticisms, as such comments strengthen and make us serve you better. Feel free at all times to address your reactions to National Broadcasting Commission, Enugu Zonal Office, Current Drive, Independence Layout, Enugu. You can email us at nbcenugu@yahoo.com or Modern Communications Limited, number 9B Obibo Avenue, Aba. MCLtv, the world in your home.
Welcome back. Boko Haram insurgents have freed 5 aid workers abducted last December. Their release was confirmed by security sources. The workers, 2 females and 3 males, were kidnapped on December 22 after a gang of gunmen believed to be Boko Haram terrorists ambushed their vehicle between Monguno and Damaturu. It was gathered that the release of the 5 abductees was facilitated by the State Security Service. The source said the 5 abducted arrived at the DSS office in Maiduguri at about 4 p.m. The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria said it has resolved to petition the head of the Catholic Church in the Vatican and the President of the United States of America. The group said the petition was in view of the spate of what it called well-coordinated armed invasions of churches and Christian dormitories by suspected armed Islamists and bandits. According to the group, Kaduna State government has become the epicenter of these extensively coordinated attacks against Christians. It urged the 2 global leaders to compel President Muhammadu Buhari and Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State to stop the siege and systematic genocidal killings of Christians in southern Kaduna. The letter follows a recent attack on seminarians' living quarters in the state and alleged silence by security forces in investigating and retrieving stolen items. The rights group said it has told the world leaders that both the presidency and the Kaduna State political authorities are treating with levity the grave threat of genocide that Christians are subjected to in Kaduna State. Russia's government resigned in a shock announcement on Wednesday after President Vladimir Putin proposed a series of constitutional reforms. In a televised meeting with the Russian president, Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev said the proposals will make significant changes to the country's balance of power, and so the government in its current form has resigned. Putin asked Medvedev, his longtime ally, to continue as head of government until a new government has been appointed. He also proposed creating the post of deputy head of the Security Council, suggesting that Medvedev will take on the position. Earlier Wednesday, Putin proposed a referendum on a package of reforms to Russia's constitution that will strengthen the role of parliament. The changes would include giving parliament the power to choose the prime minister and senior cabinet members instead of the president, as in the current system. And on sports, Heartland stormed their host Enyimba 2-0 in a Nigeria Professional Football League March the 15th encounter in Aba on Wednesday. Stanley Gimba missed the chance to put Enyimba ahead from the spot in the 26th minute. Sadiq Abubakar put the visitors ahead on the half-hour mark following a brilliant solo effort. Chukwuemeka Obioma, on loan from Enyimba, added a second for the Heartland late in the first half. Enyimba fought back to get back into the game after the break, but Heartland goalkeeper Ikechukwu Ezenwa produced a number of impressive saves to deny the home team. And to end the news this morning, a second look at the major stories. Abia State government, through the State Ministry of Education, extended the reopening of the primary and post-primary public schools for the second term of the 2019 and 2020 academic year to 20th January 2020. Senator Hope Uzodinma of the All Progressives Congress APC has given permanent secretaries and heads of parastatals 4 days to submit a board of contracts made so far in the state. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAMB) has threatened to sanction its e-pin outlets agent found involved in fraudulent practices. Heartland defeated their host Enyimba 2-0 in a Nigeria Professional Football League March the 15th encounter in Aba on Wednesday. This is where we end the news. And thanks for watching. I am Jonah Oji. Have a good morning.